Yo, Jez here, back with another Storytime video. It's been a while since I last did one, let alone make a vid, but hey, I'm back now. If you enjoy these types of videos, please leave a like and consider subscribing to see more. I started playing online seasons on the FIFA, so this is gameplay of me up against Division 10 players. And if you enjoy this type of gameplay, then let me know in the comments, or if you want to see other games in the background, that's fine as well. Some people might not even want gameplay at all, which is fine, but please be sure to give me any feedback in the comments below. I'm stalling too long, so sit back and enjoy the story about my worst ever high. Okay, so I always start these videos with some type of context to help the story make more sense and to understand some of the people in my story. So this was right after me and my friends all graduated high school, and around that time there's mad grad parties and just parties in general being thrown. A day after graduation, me and my friends all went to this one kickback, and it was pretty chill. We were all pretty buzzed and just having a good time. And at the kickback, there was this one dude I met. Let's just call him Jake. Really cool guy. Huge stoner, by the way. We talked for a bit and got to know each other. Nothing much. However, the one thing I will always remember him telling me was his high theory. Randomly, Jake pulled me to the side and was like, "Bro, you smoke?" I just told him, yeah, bro, I smoked before I got here, but I'm not that big of a smoker. I've only gotten insanely high like once. Bro, that's literally perfect. You trying to hear my high theory? Yeah, let's hear it. Alright, bro. So basically, I think that when someone gets high for their second time, that's their highest high. Think about it, bro. You could easily prove my theory is right if you smoke hella for your next time. Everyone I talk to says their high was wild, bro, and they think it's their highest high. Damn, bro, for real? That seems fun, not gonna lie. And boy, was I goddamn wrong. After that, we just did our own little thing at the kickback, and the day came to an end. But before me and all my friends left, we got the invite from one of our boys for a grad party, then later to be party in 2 days. It was hyped. Fast forward 2 days later, we're at the grad party. You know, the grad parties are usually just like all close friends and family. So when we pulled up, it was nothing much. All of us just introduced ourselves to some of the guys' family, and I remember we all kind of just like made shit up about ourselves. I remember telling this guy's drunk uncle that I flew in from Thailand like 2 hours ago just to come to this, and he was like, "Yo, that's sick, you gonna love the US of A." And I also remember telling this grandma that I was one of the maids here, so if she needed anything to let me know. I don't know, we just thought saying these things were pretty funny. Also, I forgot to mention that this guy's house was huge, like huge. Like he literally had 2 houses in like the lot he lived in. But yeah, it was insane. But basically, at the grad party, we just pre-gamed. I don't really like drinking, so I only had like a butt or two. But then one of my good friends, let's just call him Colt, came up to me and was like, "Yo, bro, this is kind of lame right now. Trying to fade Chick-fil-A, then come back when it's popping." I said sure, which would then be the biggest mistake ever. We ate some Chick-fil-A. I didn't really eat much because I just ate a couple hours ago, so I wasn't really hungry. Keep in mind, though, that having food in your system really impacts how high you get. Colt and I just talked in his car, ate our food, then we both came to an agreement that we should just smoke up before we head back. And this right here was the start of my worst ever high. Alright, so Colt drives us to the spot and we get to work. Remember that I don't smoke that much, so I had the mindset leading up to this that Colt would let me go easy with it. But yeah, damn, he did not hold back. And after 2, I was already feeling it. And you know, I was in that little giggle phase. Now, if you've never smoked, there's like stages of being high. The first stage is buzz, like the way I was feeling back at that kickback. You'll feel fine, just a bit more relaxed. I was in that giggly stage, just like a little bit above being buzz, where everything was just funny as fuck to me. This is the stage I always stop at and like to be in. It's the most socially acceptable stage for me, where I can still function in public and have a good time. We were just in the car blasting music, and I remember it feeling like a concert. The music was so loud, and it was all vibes, don't get me wrong, but it just felt like I had 2 speakers attached to my ears. and EA by Young Nudie featuring 21 Savage came on, and I remember doing some dumbass dance, and Colt looks to me and just goes, "Yo, what is this dude doing?" Ah! After he said that, we both just started dying. It was a nice couple of minutes till he was like, "We both gotta smoke up some more before we head back." I agreed, not knowing this would lead to my downfall. We took a couple more, and when I took that last hit, I immediately regretted it. I skipped those couple stages of high that I was talking about and just went straight into paranoia mode. I started overthinking everything, questioning where I was, questioning the feeling I experienced, and questioning if I was fine or not. I tried to keep my cool, but even Colt kind of knew that I was starting to freak out, and he hit me with a, "Bro, you good?" And I just said, "Yeah," as I stared into my fingers, and I was just dizzy, and I felt so genuinely confused about the feeling I felt. And when you're gone, your thoughts become either random as hell or just like philosophical. I remember telling myself that I was not smart enough in my life yet to comprehend the state of what my mind and body was feeling. And I remember trying to solve everything in my head simultaneously, and it was making everything spin. And then all of a sudden, Colt goes, "Alright, we're here." What the fuck? Weren't we just at the spot, bro? I don't even remember the drive back, but here we are back at the party. I got out of the car and immediately my vision became so blurry. I started stumbling to Colt, and I think this is where he realized I was too gone. So he let me chill near his car for a bit to let myself recover up and try to get a hold of myself. And it worked, and I felt fine, and we both just went back to our little giggly phase as we made it back to our boys in the party. And when we did, they knew right away, just off our expressions, what we had done.
Yo, these boys are gone!
We all started laughing and flicking up, having a good time, and after a bit, I decided to just have a seat. First things first, let me describe the setting that I was in. We were in the other house, where it's just high schoolers, so everything was all over the place and it was a mess. The house reeked of alk, there was music blasting, floors were soaked, and they had these LED lights or whatever flashing and changing colors every single second. This was not very pleasing to my mind or body. I sat down to try and calm down, but the lights and music were making me so nauseous, I started getting the idea in my head that I was gonna yak. And everyone knows, when you start getting the idea in your head that you're gonna yak, you're most likely gonna yak. If you didn't know, yak just means puke, by the way, but I was fighting demons in my head, contemplating whether I should just yak right now or toughen up and hold it in. And while I was having this internal conflict, apparently I was just staring at one of those punch dummies for like 15 minutes until Colt finally came up to me and was just like, "Yo, are you good?" Those words were enough for me to make a decision to yak or not, and I told him, "Nah, bro, I'm gonna yak." He made that "oh shit" look, and I got up and headed to a place to yak. I was not really familiar with the house, so I didn't realize that the restroom was literally right next to me, and the only thing I knew was the front door, so I didn't want to yak in his house, and I ran outside, ran to a bush, and just started yakking everywhere. Now's a good time to mention that the time I came back to the party was around the time where the grad party had just ended, and when the real party was starting, meaning that there was still family here, and also lots of people pulling up. When I ran to that bush, I had tunnel vision, so I had no idea where I was really until I started hearing voices behind me.
Oh my god, someone's
Oh,
throwing
is
up.
he good?
Wow, already? Someone get him water.
Yo, isn't that the kid from Thailand? Yeah. In between the two houses was a big fireplace where all, and I mean all, the family was gathered up. And yes, I did in fact yak in the bush right next to them. But now was not the time to die from embarrassment and to focus on not dying from yakking. I finished yakking and just went back into the house where people were hyping me up for some reason in a way that I didn't feel too bad about myself. One of them said, "Hey, if you got out of your system, then you're good to keep going crazy." The two other dudes I came with, we'll call them Kenny and Mason, came up to me, and Kenny decided to get me home. Unfortunately, he was right, so him and I both got an Uber and left the party. Mason stayed back and kind of just cleared things up with the people there. We were walking for, no joke, 30 seconds on the sidewalk when I had the urge to yak again. I ended up doing it, but did not realize that I was in someone else's front yard yakking next to their plants. Kenny got me back together and walked me to a place where I could yak. Shout out Kenny, by the way. He's a real one. I love my bro for helping me at my low. The Uber arrived and he had the window down the moment I got in for me, but Kenny told me the whole ride back I was telling the Uber driver to put the window down.
Bro, please put the window down.
Sir, it is already down.
Please, I'm begging you.
Also, the drive back felt like we were going 200 miles per hour. Looking back at it, the Uber driver had every reason to speed since no one wants someone yakking in their car, but at that time I felt like I was on a roller coaster. We got to Kenny's house, and while he went to open the door, I wandered off and he found me slumped next to a mailbox 4 houses down. I got back up, went to his house, and camped in his restroom for 30 minutes, stuffing my mouth with grapes. I went to his room and just slumped up for the night. What a night I had. I woke up not feeling good, and the next couple days was just me trying to recover. I was told of how the party went on from other friends, and people thought I actually died that night, but luckily I'm all good. Colt apologized for letting me get that high, and I told him there's no need to stress. After greeting out, I came to a conclusion that Jake's theory is most likely correct. Moral of the story is, don't do drugs, kids. Now, but on a real note, if you do end up doing stuff like this, don't overdo it. Try to be in a place you're comfortable in with people that you're comfortable around, and try to have food in your system. Well, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed my story time. I have more wild stories to come, so if you want to see that, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.